Welcome to another episode of the Power Hour. Thank you guys for taking your time out for coming to this episode. It's not like we're just shooting one directly after another one.
What? No, I did not take off my shirt. No.
And we just changed
We didn't do that.
clothes.
Wait, we could do that?
If you want to take off your shirt right now, I would see you.
No,
Oh, I didn't need that. I mean, that's
No,
one after another.
Alright.
It's going on YouTube right now.
Yeah, we gotta hit that made for kids part, so you have to keep it made for kids.
But it's gonna make people authorize their age before they watch our videos.
We skipped the introduction. We're not doing introduction anymore.
I think that was the introduction.
That was.
That was
Yeah.
That's the introduction. Let's go.
The introduction is probably like my most favorite part because you don't know what someone's gonna say.
Start all nice and calm, and then everything is bad.
But I think with all of us now grown up, I might as well grown up.
Yeah.
Sadiq kind of having his
He's a new
little.
one. We've been here since.
One word that we've heard the most, probably since a kid, was the term peer pressure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like you all can kind of relate to it with peer pressure. Like what did it mean to you, and were you ever peer pressured?
Yes,
Were you the one who was pressuring your peers?
Probably.
I have a joke about it, but I won't say.
It's dumb.
But because we gotta hit that made for kids part, so you have to keep it made for
Yes.
kids.
No.
But
It's gonna make people authorize their age before they watch our videos.
YouTube's gonna ask.
But we skipped the introduction. We're not doing introduction anymore.
I think that was the introduction.
That was.
That was
Yeah.
That's the introduction. Let's go.
The introduction is probably like my most favorite part because you don't know what someone's gonna say, and it's gonna
We
throw everything
start
off.
all nice and calm, and then everything is bad.
But I think with all of us now grown up,
I'm
We're
not-
gonna
I'm
do
not-
Sadiq.
I'm just-
I might as well grown up.
Yeah.
Sadiq kind of having his
He's a
little.
new one. We've been here since.
One word that we've heard the most, probably since a kid, was the term peer pressure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure like you all can kind of relate to it with peer pressure. Like what did it mean to you, and were you ever peer pressured?
Yes,
Were you
I-
the one who was pressuring your peers?
Probably.
I have a joke about it, but I won't say.
Please don't.
But because
I'm just kidding.
Here's why I say that, because if you ask someone that when you were a kid, did you get peer pressure to do anything? That's a dark joke right there.
We never had those dark moments, but if you want to share something that
Well,
you got pressured into doing
Dude,
as a
not just as a
kid,
kid.
Or pressure someone.
or pressure someone.
Ask her. I don't know. I know she has something to say.
I feel like you have a lot to say though.
Yeah, I'm interested now, actually. No, I think peer pressure was actually, for me, I didn't know what it actually meant. Or in my 13, 12-year-old mind, I was like, that's not going to happen to me. I was like, because, I don't know. But craziest thing is that I started to actually know and experience peer pressure when now that I'm an adult. That is what I was just like, whoa, I didn't think that would happen, but it happened.
Peer pressure of what? Like career, life.
As a
12-year-old, what kind of peer pressure are you getting into? Like,
No, I'm telling you
eat the candy. Eat the candy.
No, because I'm telling that's when it was introduced. Like teachers, they would tell you, that I'm pretty sure I remember. I don't know if y'all do, but
They would
Sadiq
teach
went
all
to a
that.
mud school.
He went to a what?
He went to a school made out of clay.
My
My school was different, man.
they're different. No, but like they would introduce that to you. They would introduce like about peer pressure, like because I guess this is when kids start doing crazy stuff, even though they're 12, 13 years old. Like they're in middle school, not in elementary school anymore. They're in middle school. They're kind of a little bit on their own, and talk about peer pressure. And they're like, okay, don't let your friends kind of like pressure you into doing something that either you don't want to or like you shouldn't be doing. And that's just kind of what like I was going at.
I remember that DARE program. Have any one of y'all experienced that in middle school? There used to be like a group of kids from high school that would come into your classrooms.
Vaguely
And
remember that.
It was like DARE.
Drugs against something.
Something you're on.
That's what like
Yeah.
moms against
The moms against
That's
drug drivers.
mad. Not
But
to-
the whole concept of DARE program was that one of the things that I remember that kind of stood out to me, and that's how I have that memory about this whole DARE program thing, is they kept talking about like yes how to stay away from drugs and alcohol and substance abuse and everything, right? But at that time when you're in middle school, you're not fully developed,
Right.
so it didn't really make sense to me. Like I was like, okay, I would never be into drugs. I mean, to this day, I'm not into drugs. Let's just clear that up.
Well, Disclaimer.
But-
As far as we know publicly.
Yeah.
No, guys.
Let's go let y'all know.
Y'all can take a
I
drug
did hear
test
some
anytime.
stories when he was inside. He did come
But-
out like this.
The thing was with it, they talked about how at this age maybe you might not be experiencing peer pressure, but you go into high school and you have friends around you that will be kind of those cool kids, and you'll see them doing it. You know, you're at a party or something, and you know they'll kind of drag you into, hey, let's try this, because that's how you want to experience it. And
Right.
that to me in middle school did not make sense, but when I did get in high school, I kind of started experiencing peer pressure.
See,
To
I don't know who you was hanging out with. We both went to the same high school. I know we went to the same high school, right? But I was in a totally different like category, like of who I hung out with.
we did go to the same school together.
We went to the same school together, but you saw a different side of that school than I did.
That's true. Sadiq had his time.
Yeah.
At MacArthur High School.
I had only 3 friends for the 2 years I was in that school.
Did you get pressure for anything apart from just like studying?
I never studied either, and I know you can attest to that. I was just a smart individual. What can I say? But didn't hang out much. I didn't get peer pressured into any.
With no mirrors.
Because you know why? If you have never experienced peer pressure, that means you were the one who used to pressure. And you know you were a bully, bro.
Oh, you are the danger.
I'm sorry. If you saw me back in the day, I was the one getting bullied, not the bully, and that's what he can attest for.
What have you been pressured? I'm so curious about what Hamada
Actually,
Well,
yes.
did.
Because you
Kind of quiet.
This is just like a gray area right now.
Yeah, we've told our stuff. What about?
I was not peer pressure in there. Okay, I'm the kind of guy who'd experience it. So you don't have.
Pressure you? You're like,
you don't have.
hey,
to
you wanna
pressure
try
me.
He's like, he's like, what pressure? What pressure?
I'm the kind of guy that. Alright, that's all interesting. You know what? Let's do it. Let's try and see and figure out. So I don't think of peer pressure as a bad thing.
Mm.
Okay, it's a perspective. I get it. But that's how you get into new things. Let's say what is
You think
something
peer
that you love?
pressure is an
What is
opportunity
something?
here?
I love soccer.
Soccer. Let's say if you're all of your friends and you were a part of a group of friends that love watching soccer, and if you were not peer pressure into that, then how would you discover soccer?
That's actually true. We always has this
I'm
word.
sorry.
Sorry, but did television not exist that you couldn't discover soccer?
No, but like you wouldn't be in
It's different when you're peers.
No, but that's what it is. That's why people watch reaction videos, because when you look at something, when you see how other people react to
React
it,
to it.
humans react to it that way. That's
Yeah.
how we are.
No, but like as a kid, like if for example your soccer thing, right? If you walk into any random school, they have soccer posters all over the wall.
But it's not the
But would
same
you
if
call
you're
that
doing
peer
with your
pressure?
friends.
If you are
It's
surrounded
not.
by that,
You mean-
Are you meaning like to try the sport out?
just to
Watch
be
it.
around that place where everyone's talking about a certain thing, and that makes you feel like maybe it is cool. Maybe I should try it
I
out.
think you're onto something with it.
And that's all I'm saying. I'm saying
It's
that.
It sounds like you just saw an advertisement and said, okay, this sounds kind of cool.
But would you call advertising as peer pressuring?
No, that's just
I
marketing.
think no. I
Depends.
That's what it is.
no.
I see tools on advertised. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's what.
But
I'm
that's
saying.
not peer pressure. Peer
It's not-
pressure is like
it is
if
some
your
kind of
peer
pressure.
has to kind of do it. And the fact that you mentioned that there is good peer pressure too, because we're always in that like
yeah.
I'm kind of brainwashed to think that peer pressure is bad.
Thing, yeah.
So it always has a negative connotation to it. But you offering that perspective, yeah. If it wasn't for my friends dragging me out to play soccer, I would have never got into soccer.
Or just praying if you want to be a more religious person.
Yeah.
And all of your friends are doing it. Maybe you're gonna follow.
That's
it.
True, that is true.
Like
that is
the-
In
true.
Shaban's case, it could just be roller coasters.
That you can't peer pressure me into. That's something
We took you. We took you.
I tried once. I got on it because of peer pressure from my nut job friends at Six Flags. Bro, it was like my head was still dizzy, and I was just like the whole time I had my eyes closed. I was just like feeling these motions going like this, like that, and I was
the
like,
Batman or something that we went on?
we went on.
Did y'all get on the
The
test?
Batman.
The Batman.
Yeah,
we
we got
went
on
flipped us upside down.
Oh my
That
god.
was-
So I got peer pressure into that, but you cannot peer pressure me into something that I don't want to
But
like
it was
try
an
at all.
experience. If I were to ask you that, would you take it away from your life? Would you erase the memory of that happening? Would you do it?
My brain kind of went dull after that.
No, but now he knows not to do it.
Yeah.
No, but if you could forget it, that thing happened, would you do it? I think of it as an experience. I'm not saying that that's what you would choose, but I'm saying that we should be open to the idea that if our peers are doing something, and we can talk about what kind of peers do we have, but just because people are pressuring you, it should be your choice
To do it.
to do it, and you should own it. Never blame it on other people. If just because people
Yeah.
are pressuring you, don't just
You
be like,
gotta-
oh, he
I
pressured
think
me.
there's two different. I think there's two different things what you're saying. Like the peers thing, there's that group of peers that want you to do something just to see what's gonna happen to you. Then there's that group of peers that say we want you to do it because we know it's good for you.
That's
Yeah,
true.
the type of peers,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
middle school, personally, I think is very at that point in time. It's very difficult to distinguish between if it's that good pressure and
Yes.
good peers, or is it that taking you to that kind of next level? That because we hear all these crazy stories about kids in
Middle
middle school
school
getting
is